is up, everyone? Volathis here, and Final Fantasy XIV unveiled the benchmark trailer for Stormblood. For those of you who don't know, the benchmark is a piece of software that is used to determine what settings and stuff like that you should be using for PC. It tests your PC's limits and gives you a score at the end and says, you know, if you're doing really well and what settings you should use. You can play around with it, and we also get to play around with character creation in that. Just the main thing with it is it tests your computer. The other one is they like to tease us with new spells, the new areas, and the new classes. So without further ado, we're going to hop in here, and I'm going to go ahead and try and analyze this as best as I can and figure out what's going on. I have watched this a few times, so hopefully my analysis here is a little bit better than if I was watching this for the first time. So first we have here the Warrior Light and what looks to be the next artifact monk here. Looks like they are preparing for war. Some meetings, some group meetings, monk practicing. And now we have the Paladin, Bard, and the Scholar appearing here. They look like standard armors for each of their classes. Okay, we're marching off to a battle. There might have been some familiar faces in there I didn't recognize. So the sun is rising. There's right there was the ninja artifact here. Alright, and this looks to be like sort of the swamp area. This is probably near the Shroud area. And then we have a battle going on here between the Guardian Empire. We have a warrior running up here, dashing in. Looks like a new ability there. A lot of new enemies. This right here with the flamethrower, I believe, is the Machinist, because the entire time I have watched this benchmark trailer, I have not seen the Machinist once. And it's the only one that's holding a gun, so I'm assuming it's it. We don't get a really good look at the artifact here or anything. And there's new enemies here, of course, looking biomechanic. Summoner looks to be casting a new Rune Gaga spell. I believe the Astrologian is casting a new card here, or new card ability, which is standard with them. A lot of abilities we've already seen before going on here. Let's see. And then we have a new skill from the Red Mage in the back here, showing off, of course. We're seeing the transition between the rapier and the staff. And then this looks to be, right there was a wind spell that's a combination of white, because red mages are supposed to be a combination of black and white magic. Some melee abilities, and then the final skill. And I do, so, has them pairing up. Enemy coming, monk is going through stances. These look like new, some kind of new ability. And then it's unleashing it. Tons of enemies. This could either be a fate or part of the story, I'm not too sure. And that looks like the Machinist was on the left there. We did not see its limit break. And then we have, so that's the Machinist right there. And my mouse isn't showing, of course. So it's the middle right, and then we have the Black Mage and Paladin. Black Mage looks fairly standard to a Black Mage. The introduction of the Samurai here looks very similar to what we saw in the Stormblood trailer. And they're just showing off the Kugane area here. Very Eastern design clothing. Looking up at something. Still looks like a beautiful city. Some examples of swimming that looks like in the back, sprinting while swimming. If I'm not mistaken here, the Lawfell is dead. I think it's dead. That doesn't look like a normal pose to be while swimming. And then, looks like we have the example of the diving. And to my knowledge, we're not supposed to be fighting underwater, but can these creatures be aggroable? That's the new fishing with the spear. We have the gathering here with the mining and the botanist. And then the new mount we're getting with the collector's edition, if I'm not mistaken. And then the one city they showed off, and it looks like the Kraken there. So I don't know if we're going to be avoiding it, because we're not going to be fighting underwater, but I wonder if that means if we can aggro underwater. And then we have some mounts here. Looks like a bunch of the standards here. On the left-hand side, it looks like Armored Pegasus, as well as some kind of bird mount, maybe a hippogriff. Looks like one of the new fates we're going to be getting. Last time it was a Corel. This looks like a giant Fenrir, but I'm thinking since this is more of Eastern lore, this might be the nine-tailed fox. Or maybe, I can't count the tails, but it could quite easily be that. They're just flying by, and I thought there was something else in this preview I saw before, but... And then this is barrier coming down, falling. Just flying on through. And then up above, we got some giant flying manta rays with one of the Beastman tribe. I'm assuming we'll get that as a mount. And then this breaks over. Well, now it looks like we have Sasana, and it looks like he's not just going to be a one type of fight. This is all the artifact armor that we haven't seen or have seen. We have White Mage, Dark Knight, Bard, Scholar, Ninja, Dragoon, Black Mage, Paladin, and then of course the Samurai. That doesn't look like any new skills, just some prepping. Let's see here. So the Black Mage casters. I don't think it's a Thunder skill. I think it's some kind of black magic. Well, obviously it's black magic. It's a Black Mage, but it is a dark skill of some sort. We're not going to be doing like an element there. Now, this looks to be like sort of a cover, but a healer version. And the Bard is using some kind of high DPS move. It's probably similar to their current high damage skill. But you can see the tether is there. I'm assuming that they either share health or take damage or something. And then this looks to be a new White Mage skill. It looks like to go... It's sort of like an AoE, but it looks like it heals one target and it heals the nearby targets. And Paladin did some kind of advanced flash skill that looks like a Dragoon jump, but the Dragoon obviously didn't jump, so some kind of skill. I'm curious as to see if it will be considered a jump, and I'm also curious if the flash there was going to be sort of like a mini holy skill. And we see the ninja does a summoning skill to summon a frog that does a fire technique. I wonder if it's going to be a new... well, obviously it'll be a new ability, but... And then we have the Samurai doing skills here. Sasana is about to strike it, but the Dark Knight blocks it. That looks similar to the Sheldon ability, but is given to another player. And then it looks like we have the LB of the Samurai over here. And that ends it for that. So there's a lot to break down there. It showed off briefly the areas. They do look pretty open. It definitely, of course, leaves a lot of questions. So we got to look at all the artifact armors, some of them better than others. The warrior, I think, is probably the least shown of them all. And we got to see at least one new skill on each class. If the flamethrower skill was kind of the machinist. Moving forward with the expansion of the classes that I'm looking forward to, and armor-wise, going to be Black Mage, of course, White Mage, Red Mage. I have a thing for mages. And Samurai. Warrior might be Dark Knight, Paladin. I like playing the tanks. I think, you know, out of them though, and then the Bard doesn't look half bad. I'm a little curious about the machinist and stuff like that. Still have questions about the swimming and diving, how that's going to work, because it looks like, you know, we have these enemies that we're going to be trying to dodge them while we're underwater. And we definitely have a lot of questions. We have an example of what Sasano is going to be. And the other thing, of course, is I already ran mine. My computer did fairly well. Extremely high. So I'm ready for Stormblood. So let me know in the comments down below. I'll also try to make sure to include the benchmark link so you guys can run these on your PCs as well. Let me know your score. Let me know if you're excited to Stormblood, because every time I hear more Stormblood facts, I'm so ready for the expansion. And yeah, I guess that's about it. What was your favorite part about the Stormblood benchmark trailer here? I always love it overall, and we got a few examples of them out. If you enjoyed this video, please like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. More videos to come. And once again, it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.